I never thought to myself, the way people think today, I never thought to myself, man, the circumstances I wound up in, it's so not fair. That was the only, I didn't know the difference. I didn't know the difference. Like, bro, that's, the circumstances you're in should be the only ones you understand, because you cannot possibly understand people's circumstances that you view as better or you view as worse. The circumstances you're in are the only ones you need to understand.
The video you're about to watch is just a small segment from a much longer and more in-depth interview that's included inside my new digital program, The 10 Commandments of Wealth. Click that link and get your name on the 10 Commandments of Wealth early action guest list. When you do, you'll secure your invitation to a private and live webcast discussion with me, and you'll also become eligible to get your copy of the 10 Commandments of Wealth 10 days early. Click that link, get your ass on the webcast. I'll see you inside.
This is Derek Moneyberg. I want to welcome a very special guest, Paulie Malignaggi. And Paulie's a multi-time boxing champion, multiple weight divisions as well. And he's a man with an extraordinary work ethic, extraordinary skill set, championship outcomes, and he'd probably kick your ass too. So, Paulie, I really appreciate you taking a bit of time to talk to the audience and just, share a few fundamental thoughts, a few key philosophies that would help somebody who's serious. My audience ain't a bunch of losers. We get rid of losers.
Yeah.
We don't have losers. But for somebody who's serious, who is willing to put in the work, who's willing to do what it takes to have championship outcomes and things that they care about to enhance their own life. The majority of my clients are those type of people that they just want some damn structure. They already got an above average work ethic, above average education. They're ambitious. They want to go do something. They know they're capable of doing something even more than they've done, but they don't have the right goddamn structure. Sometimes because their parents coddled them too goddamn much.
Yeah, because then being uncomfortable takes you to a place where now you've got to be uncomfortable to achieve, and you can't get there, It's funny, they always say, one of the statistics I always hear, single parent families create the most failures in their kids, right? So I had all the excuses. I was in a single parent house myself. My father went back to Italy when I was 6 years old, So I was, and believe me, I can relate to you guys. I can relate to the people that were raised in those single parent houses that had it tough and whatnot, because my mother ended up getting remarried, and I have a younger brother and sister that were from my mother's second marriage, and I love them very much, but they had it much easier than me and my first older brother, I'm my first younger brother. I'm the oldest. But the way we wound up kind of in a spiral. We wound up all over the place, both expelled from school, both on the street, both this, and we kind of had to find our way. It's still not an excuse. And people are gonna say, oh, but nothing, because at the end of the day, it was up to me to make a choice. And I remember being young, I remember being like 14, 15, and thinking to myself, man, these choices I'm making, something's gonna have to happen one day, man. Like either I'm gonna be a criminal making some money on the side, in some way, or as an adult, or I've got to make some changes in my life. I never thought to myself, the way people think today, I never thought to myself, man, the circumstances I wound up in, it's so not fair. That was the only, I didn't know the difference. Like, bro, the circumstances you're in should be the only ones you understand, because you cannot possibly understand people's circumstances that you view as better or you view as worse. The circumstances you're in are the only ones you need to understand. And the circumstances you're in are the only ones you need to surpass and succeed in. That's it. And that was the choice I made. I said, okay, you know what, I gotta end up doing. Once I got expelled from high school at 16, I got taken to a boxing gym, and I was just like, you know what, I like this. And man, you know how many beatings I had to go through? Anytime you want to box seriously, you're gonna end up getting beat up in your sparring sessions on the way to learning. I'm sorry, it's just a process you're gonna go through. And you gotta come back to the gym the next day and do it again, and the next day and do it again, and do it the next day and do it again. But are you gonna like it? Not always. Me, I ended up having a passion for it. I wanted to say, you know what? I gotta overcome this guy. This guy's beating me up. This guy's beating my ass. I want this guy again tomorrow. You know how many guys I saw though come into the gym, tough guys, wannabes, and come in. As soon as they get their ass kicked, they never showed up again. Mm-hmm. Okay, it is what it is. The lesson for this, the lesson is there's still a metaphor for life. Obstacles get in our way. Things block us. Excuses can be made easily because there's so many things that get in our way on the way to a goal, on the way to the goal. You may have a goal that's up here, right? So you set little goals on the way there, because if you try to go from here to here, it's not going to happen and you're going to get frustrated quickly. But if you know your ultimate goal is up here, but in the meantime, you need to achieve this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, and this goal before you get here, you can check off little moments in your life as you start to achieve them. I remember I used to check off little moments in my life. I had to achieve, and once I started boxing, this, my first amateur fight, my first amateur title, my first national title, my professional boxing debut, like little by little. And as I got to them, I'm like, I would tell myself on the night that I was there, I was like, this is one of my checkmark moments. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my, and they all get there. Some of them, not all, again, you set the bar so high that you don't always reach there because you're reaching for the stars. I wanted to be in the Olympics. I didn't get to the Olympics, but you set enough of them and you check off enough of them, believe me, your ultimate goal, you'll get there or you'll get close enough.
Very similar, mirrored story. Like, I grew up in a single family home. Dad went to prison when I was 7. My uncle too is my only male role models, So I grew up with my half crazy mom. About age 10, I was in charge of the house, and nobody wants to be in charge of the house at age 10. But I just realized that, like, this person's not a better leader than I am, or this person's not able to. She can't even take care of herself properly, so she's not going to be able to take care of me or anything else. And nobody wants to be in that spot. But I wasn't a crybaby about it either. Like you said, I was just like, well, this is what it is, And for me, I had to do a lot of guess and check. One of the reasons that I like working with clients, I don't want to help everybody. It's not I hear these assholes say, like, I want to help 1 billion people. I want to help everybody under. I don't want to fucking help 1 billion people. I want to help a few people that are very serious. They're very dedicated. Okay. They're not going to be a crybaby. They're going to do what's necessary. They're going to have that discipline, character, as Paulie says. And they're going to go get things done and be about their business. So I just had to be that type of person. And, like, my 6 closest friends in childhood, 3 of them are dead now. They died early. One's doing life in federal prison. One just got done with a 30-year sentence, just came home. And I seen him and gave him a couple dollars for no reason. For no reason except, maybe some nostalgia, I don't know. But I don't want to hang out with the dude, but I made sure he was okay, So, I grew up around a lot of rough characters that, a point you made is like, if you're not willing to look at that and be like, all right, I got to do something different or this is going to turn out very poorly. And I'm also a high school dropout. When I was 17 years old, I never went to prison, but I went to county jail a couple of times for fighting, for violence. Mm-hmm. And I remember being 17 years old and you're in adult jail. Those are not a fun time, man. And I just remember I read a lot of books. I was reading, at that time, people ask me about books, but most assholes read books just to procrastinate doing the shit that they're actually supposed to do to get the success, Yeah. I was reading the book trying to understand, well, what the hell should I be doing? Who are the type of people that they're living a life that I would find admirable? And that was a big range of books. That was like Richard Branson's biography and John Gotti's biography. And I was looking at a broad range of characters. And the couple of things that really stood out to me in reading those biographies, other people are watching TV and they're fighting over sports or they're fighting over a fucking card game or just something silly. Yeah, I was the youngest one there, but I was just reading. And, the things I'd see again and again is like, oh, like all of these people, like they keep their word. They got a hard work ethic. They work hard. They got a big vision in mind, like, similar to what you're saying about reach for the stars, that they had unimaginable goals, big goals, And I was never good at hyping myself up for some bullshit. I was just knowing, like, I had macro goals, like I need to get more money, and so I can live the sort of life I want to live. And if I'm going to get that money, that means I'm going to have to be smarter and I'm going to have to work harder. I'm going to have to work on my education. And whether I like it or not, I ain't got to worry about my emotions for the next 10, 20 years. I better just go do whatever's necessary. And in my mind, I just thought, like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I just made a commitment, like, I'm going to do it anyway. So I might as well be in the best mood that I can be in, because I'm not going to fucking get off course.
Be more enthusiastic.
I'm more excited about my goals than my feelings. I never gave a shit about anybody that values their short-term emotions over their long-term goals. They ain't gonna accomplish much. They'd be lucky to reach up and grab a mosquito. They ain't getting no stars.
You want the rest of that answer. Could change your life. Click on this link right here, sign up to Derek Moneyberg's 10 Commandments of Wealth, and change your life right now. I'll see you inside.